So the thing is that I don't know if you heard about the story.
Yeah.
It was like this is a level 100 student who has been with the lady for some time. So technically it means, and the guy couldn't, be, or the lady said she was no longer interested in the relationship, and the guy couldn't stand, and so he committed suicide. And the thing is that he left a note behind dating the time that he had met the girl.
Okay.
And so it was like within 4 months, less than 4 months, because level 100, and then they fell in love. So my question is, why should a young guy, what will cause him to do, what do you think is the reason for doing that? First, number one. Then number two, how do we prevent that? But first, what's your general opinion on that kind of act in these relationships where people are committing suicide and stuff?
My opinion is very simple on this issue. And number one, what at all will influence your decision to take your life because a woman decides that the relationship should be over? So I don't know. What would influence someone's decision that let me go and take my life because a lady has left me? As identical twins and as it.
No, I mean it's love. So they said love, people can do things for love.
Love conquers all.
I don't know, but what do you think will cause a guy to do that? Like, what do you think he had done for the lady, which is the reason, or the lady had done to him, which is the reason why he couldn't leave because the lady has left him?
Yeah, I think that some of the factors are lack of home training. Because if let's say you are raising a child,
yeah,
and then you sit the child down when you realize that he is of a certain age, and tell him that look, relationship has its own ups and downs. You can be with someone and the person can decide that, listen, I've had enough of you in the relationship and I would want to be alone. It happens most of the time. So you the father never so on country and say ukra we a jano any jano ukra when you're broken heart that.
Okay.
Now broken heart in a bar a sensitive issue or sensitive topic that ought to be talked, and then you have to have someone that you can feel very comfortable and share the story with.
But in our culture, I don't know, when you were growing up, your mother or your father never sat you down to tell you about relationship.
Yeah.
I never had my mother or somebody sitting me down talking about. So it's a hard conversation. I don't think it's normal. But what you are saying is that parents should be able to sit their children down when they get to a certain age, and especially educate them about relationship.
Yeah. When you come to Africa, the only problem we see is a pandemic. And a pandemic, I feel it's a pandemic, and this thing is becoming more or less like a pandemic in certain
in our society. Yeah,
you see the point. So I think that it's either the parent adapt such culture in the home training or the teachers.
Okay, in school,
take it in various schools and then teach it as a subject.
Really?
That listen, when you are in a relationship and something happens and you can't handle it anymore, maybe like there has been a proper part of maybe I don't know how to even put it. Maybe you go to school, we have PENSA, SRC, and
SU and co.
So there has to also be some branch where people can actually have
those psychological issues.
To be discussed and see how they can come out of it.
Okay.
Because broken heart need the way then you be film.
Okay.
It's a calling, whether you like it or not. You pass through.
You will get a broken heart.
Then because the point is, obi da you obi, and somebody ought to pay for what somebody else has done.
Jeez.
That's it.
Jeez. Wow.
That is it. Because
you are saying that parents we have reached a point where parents should comfortably talk to their children about relationship.
Yes.
And how to groom them to be in a relationship and not get hurt.
Yeah.
Then number two, our schools, teachers, we should have that system in place where people can willingly come out in case they are going through traumas like that.
Yeah.
They can come. Yeah. There should be a place in the school where they can come and discuss their matters.
Yeah. So if that initiative is taken on, I think some of this problem will be resolved within a matter of time. Because the whole thing of taking your life or committing suicide has to do with the thing has, let's say,
overwhelmed you.
And then maybe you've hit rock bottom at a certain point of your life. And then you feel like, Charlie, I'm not loved. That's where the whole thing comes from. But sometimes it's not personal. Obi broku heart and personal, and people don't get it.
It's not personal. How?
It's not personal.
How?
It's not. Sometimes it's not about you.
But
is it the point?
But okay, so in the first place, no. You've spoken about a couple of things about the house, the school, and then the fact that sometimes it's not because of you.
Yeah, it's not personal.
What would get to that point where somebody would say, "Hey, I'm taking my life because my partner or my boyfriend or my girlfriend says I don't like you anymore"? What will cause them to take their life? Is it just the feeling of love, or they had done something else? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. Is it that they have, like, what will cause somebody to say, I'm going to hang myself?
Do you know that when Jesus Christ came on earth, he healed a lot of sickness and coupled with a lot of things?
Yeah.
But also, one Jimmy.
Okay.
So sometimes these things are purely foolishness.
Oh.
No, you meet someone. No, you meet someone. You are trying to forge a relationship with a person. I mean, cohabiting. And then maybe 3 months or 4 months, the person is like, "Oh, I can't do this thing anymore." And then you are telling me that you are going to take your life because maybe emotionally or psychologically you have invested. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
No, but you have to also appreciate or acknowledge people's emotions.
That is why I'm saying that maybe if the parents take this initiative, that listen, if my child is at a certain age or is of a certain age, I will sit this person down and let him know some of the nitty-gritty of relationship issues. Sometimes some people, when they are in trouble, what they need is just counsel and directives.
Okay.
That's what some people are lacking maybe in their homes.
Okay.
And see, sometimes in parenting in Africa is also difficult in the sense that papa no why is a lion? And I will feeling. You don't even want your father to know that you have
a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Yeah, that's true.
That you
it's like a taboo, never mentioned in our homes.
Like you have an erection. You see the point? And this has to do with the fact that sometimes parenting, the way Africans we take parenting, we take it too serious. You see, your child has to be your friend. No,
but if you're going to make your child your friend, it's that there is this psychological parenting articles and thoughts that if you make your children your friend, it's not a good thing.
Okay.
Because if they become your friend, then you cannot really tell them what they need to know. You need to be a parent and know when to also be a friend.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you're saying. You need to be able to sit them down and look them in the eye and say, "Hey, listen, you are this age now. Guys are coming your way. You are going to fall in love with girls. But know that no matter what you go through, you still have a supportive home. Come back home."
Yeah.
But my concern is it just the emotion that makes people lose their head? Because in addition to this young guy who had committed suicide, there had been matured people who have equally committed suicide because of what? Relationship.
Sometimes people get some level of comfortability with certain relationship that if you follow the pattern of it, it doesn't make sense. Listen, you've met someone, maybe even if you've met someone for a year, and the person says, maybe wakes up one day and says, "I'm not doing it anymore." Have a dialogue, either with the person or with someone close to you.
Okay.
Because listen, sometimes dialogues helps a lot in this kind of it prevent a lot of shit. Because the point is that maybe the person you are going to have the dialogue with is also going to give you his experience.
Okay.
And you give you the experience and you could realize that he's still living.
Right.
So some way it gives you some level of comfort that I'm not in this alone.
Okay.
You see, because people are going through it too.
Right. So what you are saying is that the fact that someone has left you is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Because and then you are not the only person who had been through that.
Yeah.
So how do we then build that capacity? How should people build that capacity psychologically that if people leave them, they can still survive? Because you've suffered some experiences. I've suffered some experiences. Our viewers have also suffered some experiences. But I don't think people have gone out like that. So how do we build the capacity? What is the reality people have to understand about love? If you are a relationship guy, right? So what is it about love that people must get to so they don't have to take their life?
The number one rule everyone has to know or get used to is I love you. I love you. The term I love you means we are all playing.
No, but you can say that.
Listen, it's a joke.
How?
Why? No, you love someone. How do you love someone? How?
Because you feel when you see, these days the kind of nonsense that goes on, right? People are like, oh, when I see you, you are the sunshine in my life.
Because the point is, so you don't go in and take the worst of someone serious.
No, but that is a deadly world we are living in.
Listen, the last time I was having this discussion with a friend of mine, and I was like, the person asked me a simple question that why do guys lie when you are going in for a relationship? And I was like, listen, when you meet again, you're going to make me feel here, pa. No, the girl is not. Oh, your own complete statement, no, ako. Into Kodua, and listen, you knew that your father is not a king. I'm calling you a princess, and you are responding. Who are you deceiving? That's why I said the thing is a joke. Because you know that there is no village in any part of Ghana that your father is a king. And I'm referring to you, you are my queen. You are not Queen Sheba. Why are you responding? So the point is, we shouldn't take words very serious because words carry power.
Relax, Miguel. Now, so are you saying that there cannot be any true love? There is nothing like true love. There is nothing like true relationship. You are married. Is that what you are saying?
No. Listen, the point I'm trying to build is love happens over time.
Okay.
You can't meet someone and and immediately say you love the person.
Right.
There has to be an attraction. Mm-hmm. There has to be some level of careness. Mm-hmm. And then maybe the love follows.
So don't you think that people who commit suicide, especially this level 100 guy, may his soul rest in a perfect peace, don't you think that he had developed, although it's just a 3 months period, don't you think what you are saying happened to him?
That is why I said when Jesus Christ came on earth, he did not cure foolishness. Jesus Christ, when he came on earth, he did not cure foolishness. Because it can be associated with pure foolishness.
So are you saying people in love are foolish?
No.